here's a good idea that, well, I think it's a good idea. It might help you to promote the use of language and structural features in writing, so when your students are writing. So we're talking high school here. The first thing you need to think about is you need to personify language and personify structure. So think of them as the masters of the universe. Now these masters can obviously control people. You could even sell them as narcissists, superheroes, anything that have the ability to control people. Now these masters of the universe have superpowers. Students can borrow those superpowers for their writing. It's best to show them the banks of superpowers, so categorized as rather than giving them students a list of language features, give them categorized lists. So these are the figurative language superpowers. These are the sound devices superpowers, and so on. For structural devices, here are the neat sentence structures that will work with creative writing and with dialogue in particular, like minor sentences. Here's syntax. This is how you can play around with your syntax. So give students those banks of superpowers as groups rather than alphabetized lists. So that's sort of the second thing. The first thing is they've got to think of structure and language as masters of the universe who hold superpowers. The second thing is you've got to give them those banks of superpowers. So when students are writing, they need to think first about the audience and what superpowers will work best on those people. The other thing to think about, of course, is purpose. I'd rather not sell it as purpose or use the word purpose because it instantly turns students off because they don't always understand. Maybe later in the year I'll use purpose, but at first they don't understand what purpose really means. They understand what the word means, but they don't understand what it means as part of the writing process. So instead talk about, well, what's the effect you want to have on your audience? Do you want them to feel a certain way? Do you want them to act, so do a certain thing? Do you want them to understand something? So that is purpose. So what's the effect that you want to have? You're asking students this, what's the effect you want to have on that audience? So choose what superpowers are going to work there. So that's the best way to sell the idea of language and structural features to your students. Now the other thing is it's so simple but effective. When students bring you their work or when you're giving them feedback, you can say, well, where are your superpowers? Where are your superpowers? So of course the best tool in your classroom is your classroom. And for the walls, what have you got on the walls? Have you got those banks of superpowers all up there so that students can refer to them, can literally choose them? Maybe that would be a good idea. If you had a whole lot of sort of post-it notes, here's a metaphor, and they just go and grab one, physically carry it to their desk and use it in their writing. So, what am I going to use? Here's a sticky with onomatopoeia on it. So they grab the sticky, take it to their desk and use it. So it's as if they are actually taking a superpower, a tangible thing, and putting it into their writing. So, bit of a tip there. Language and structure are masters of the universe, narcissistic, controlling. And the students are able to borrow those superpowers. It might work. Have a think about it. I'm going to have a think about creating something about that students could grab and take to their desks as well. So, plenty of resources available in both my stores. If you would like, link is in the description below. Links are in the description below. Happy teaching!